Okay, so we have done, so we started by learning about like what makes something direct variation, and then we moved on to finding K and writing an equation. So now we're going to find the final step in direct variation, which is actually finding the missing value. Okay, so again, they could ask us whether it's direct variation, they could ask us to find K, they could ask us to find an equation, or to find the missing value. So we're going to learn the last one today. Now, we need to know these key phrases because I'm going to write them down and then I want you to look at them. Oh my gosh, I lost the mouse. Where are you, mouse? Oh, there you are. Okay, yep. Always looking like an idiot. Okay, so I'm going to write these two key phrases down and I want you to copy them down and we're going to talk about what I don't like about them. Okay, so the first phrase is, y is directly proportional to x. Y is directly proportional to x. The second one, and I'm going to write it down and y'all can copy it. Don't rush. I'll give y'all a minute. Y varies directly with x. Y is directly proportional to x. Y varies. Okay. So what I don't like about this is everything about my previous learning has so they taught me the ABC song when I was a kid, right? A, B, C, D, and then we got to W, X, Y, Z, right? X, Y. And then also because I read English, now there are other languages that some languages read from right to left. We read from left to right. So I'm reading this, Y is directly proportional to X, and it's backwards from how I want to read it. I want to read X then Y. But I'm reading Y then X. This is something you have to be so incredibly careful about. When you see directly proportional, you need to be like, oh dang, okay, I gotta be careful. Because, again, being careful and precise they're the basics of algebra. You have to be careful and precise, okay? So, I want you guys to flip to this section that says find a missing value, and we're gonna do 3 problems from tonight's homework. And we're gonna work this out. I'm gonna show you how to make the magic happen, okay? I don't know. Okay, I'll get your ring. All right. Okay, focus up. This is on the internet forever. Okay, so it says for each problem, create a table, solve for K, write an equation, solve for the missing value. So those are our 4 basics. Now, it says, suppose Y varies directly as X and Y is 16 when X is 8, find Y when X is 16. I hate everything about that. It's just really, it just sounds too mathy, right? So, when we do what I'm about to tell you to do, you're going to be like, this is dumb, I don't need to do it. But then once we start doing word problems, you'll see why it's so important. Okay? Whenever I see the phrase varies directly as X, or like Y varies directly as X, or I see Y is proportional to X, or directly proportional to, I underline varies directly as, or is proportional to. I underline that. I circle what's in front of it and what's behind it. Okay? Now the reason I do this is because I want to get the order right. The order matters. What's in front is Y and what's in back is X. And you're like, it says that. Look at question 3. It says suppose V varies directly as G. Well, this is going to go in my Y. That's going to go where my X goes. Do you see what I'm saying? So knowing when they give me weird letters or when they give me this, the number of muffins varies directly with the amount of flour you use. Okay, like I don't even have any letters at all. So it is really important that I identify what's in front and what's behind of this phrase because Y comes first and then X comes after. Okay? So, now yesterday we wrote these steps down. We make a table and we're gonna do exactly that. So this is question 1. Here, actually, let's do this real quick. Let's kind of separate this out like that so that we can fit these problems. Separate it out like that so we can fit these 3 problems on here. Okay? All right. So the first problem says Y varies directly as X. So I'm going to make a T-chart. And I will tell you, when I do direct variation, I actually, my body language is even different when I do direct variation because I fill the table in backwards. It says Y varies directly as X. I put the Y first and then the X, but I put them in the columns they go in. See, I'll go from right to left because I'm going in the order that they have me going. Does that make sense? No? Do what you want to do. Just get them in the right place. Okay? Okay, now, it says y equals 16 when x equals 8. So again, being careful. I'm going to carefully put this stuff where it goes. So it says y is 16. I put that in the y column. X is 8. I put that in the x column. Okay, there's my one full chunk of information. Now it says find y. So I'm going to put a box where the y is, because I don't know what that y is, when x is 16. Okay? Now here's why it's so important that you set it up correctly. Because if you don't, if you flip your x and y, or you don't plug one of these things in where they go, your entire proportion is wrong. You're going to, if you mix up the x and y, you're going to get the wrong k, the wrong equation, and find the wrong value. If you put this one in the wrong place, you're going to solve for the wrong thing. So this part you have to be so careful, okay? And again, nothing we're doing here is hard. We just have to be very, very careful and very precise about what we're doing, okay? Now, step 2 is to make a y over x column. So let's make a y over x column. Okay, y over x is 16 over 8, which simplifies to 2. Okay? So I found my y over x. And that's all I can do. I only have one row that's got enough information to do anything with. Now I need to find, it's not even that I'm finding k. I'm just going to say this is k. Now the reason it is important for you to write that that's k is because I'd almost be willing to bet you money that in a multiple choice test, this would be one of your answer choices. Because remember, multiple choice questions are tricky. They're trying to get you to stop early. And they hope that you'll see your number that you've got and go, ooh, there's my number, and circle it and just like forget to do the rest of it. You're so excited that you saw your number that you just like go, great, I'm going to stop now and just keep going. Go on to the next problem, okay? Do you have a question? Or you just okay, you're just stretching, okay. All right, so, and that's one of the first things they might ask us. So they might ask me if it's direct variation, yes?
So then the answer choice would be 2 equals 10.
No, the answer choice would be 2. What's the missing value? 2. And you'll be like, what? Another one they might give you is 8, thinking that you're not going to pay attention. Okay? There's various answers they'll give you. Like, basically, every way you can screw this up, they're going to give you an answer choice. But they'll give you this because they know you're going to find 2, either this way or that way. They know you're going to find 2 as a scale factor, and they're going to try and get you to pick that answer. Okay? So, now, oh, go figure. Okay. So now we have y equals kx, right? And we're going to plug in our 2, so y equals 2x. So there's my equation. That was step 4, okay? Now we're ready for step 5. Step 5 is use your equation to find the missing value. Okay, so you're going to use your equation to find the missing value. Our thing said find y when x is 16, so I got to find y. All right, so we got that written down? Okay, write faster. I love you. Okay, you got it? Okay. All right, so now they gave me x, right? So that means that wherever I see an x, I'm going to put 16. I'm just plugging it in. If they had given me a y, I'd plug it in for y. So 2 times 16 is 32. So that's the missing value. So like, if I were them, I would have 2 as an answer choice, 32 as an answer choice, 8 as an answer choice, and whatever 8 times 16 is, just to really mess with you, because they like to do that thing where they just multiply all the numbers together. We haven't done that since 3rd grade, y'all. That's never the answer. Okay? Now, let's pretend that you're like, I don't know how to solve that. Okay, well, we have these handy-dandy calculators now, right? So I can just say 2x, well, when x is 16, y is 32. Boom, there you go. So I can use my calculator to do it if I want to. Now, we need to be able to do this, and we'll practice that, don't worry. But, you know, you have this other tool if it's faster that you can use. For me, doing this was faster, but, there may be cases where it's not. All right? So I want you guys to take a minute and I want you to get up to this point, up to step 4 on question number 2. Okay? So question number 2, I want y'all to get up to step 4. Okay, so this is what you guys should have gotten. What's different about this one than the other ones? Than the other one that we did? Well, not only this time we're missing a y. I mean, this time we're missing x. We know what y is and we're missing x. So, we know that y is 42. So we're going to substitute in for y instead. Because they gave us a y. And I like to do that when I know what I've got. I like to draw an arrow pointing at it. Kind of helps me keep track of where I'm putting it. Now, some of us are having a challenge solving this, and that's a 6th grade skill, but we're going to get you there, okay? So, but to solve this, to work backwards from this, we would divide both sides by 7, because 7 is what's in front of the x. I have 7 x's, but I only want to know what 1 is. These cancel away, giving me x equals 6. In the calculator, I could do the same thing. I could say 42 equals 7x. I look at the table, and since they're equal, I want to find the row where they're the same. So I just get my scroll on. Did I already miss it? No. Oh my God, it just keeps, what am I doing wrong? Oh, I just put x. Okay, that's why. I totally missed it. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. I just keep scrolling and scrolling. Okay, there it is, at 6. So when x is 6, y1 and y2 are both 42. Okay? So again, this tool may be the right tool for you for some things, but we will need to be able to do it by hand. Now, the last one I want to do with you is question number 6. Okay, question number 6. Wow, okay, this got a lot going on. You know what it doesn't have? Any letters that we care about. It's got all kinds of words, but it doesn't give me x or y. So it says a recipe for 2 dozen corn muffins calls for 3 cups of flour, whatever that should be cups. The number of muffins varies directly with the amount of flour you use. How many cups of flour are needed to make 6 dozen muffins? So, what phrase should be ringing a bunch of bells for me right now? Varies directly with. Like your brain should be going, oh dang, danger zone, there's varies directly with. So underline varies directly with, and what do I do next? So I circle, you can circle muffins. I'm going to circle the number of muffins and the amount of flour. You could honestly just circle muffins and flour. That's fine. And what am I going to put over muffins? What letter goes with muffins? Y, because it's before. And X goes with flour because it's after. Okay? All right? So this is the part that's going to make or break it. And then the next part, okay, so again, Y varies directly with X. I mean, if I just substitute those letters in, I said the phrase, my key phrase, okay? So now, this is number 6, I'm going to make a table. Now, this table, now since it's a word problem, I'm going to put more than just X and Y, although I am going to put X and Y. Now, if you wanted to be fancy, which I'm going to get y'all to being fancy, by the end of the year, you'll be fine with this using other letters thing. But you could say M for muffins and F for flour. Trust me, y'all are like, oh, that sounds terrible. But by the end of the year, you'll be doing it. You'll be fine with it. Okay? All right, so now, my word problem doesn't have X and Y in it. So I'm going to do more than just, so it says Y is number, so I'm going to label as much as I need to on this table to help me put stuff in the right place. Because remember, I got to be precise. X is amount of flour. Let's just say flour. Now, when I look, it says 2 dozen corn muffins. So I'm like, dang, do I need to make that 12 or 24? Well, this says 6 dozen. So since I'm comparing dozens and dozens, I don't need to convert it. Now, if this said 2 dozen corn muffins here and it said 72 corn muffins here, then I would have to convert one or the other. I'd have to do some kind of conversion to make them the same units. But I've got dozens and dozens. I don't need to change anything. They're the same unit. Okay? So, but I'm going to write dozens next to that. And then it says cups of flour, so just to be safe, I'm going to write cups, okay? And again, I know you're like, that's a lot of stuff. But remember, I'm going to write whatever I have to get this right, because there are not a lot of things that I like, but I love to be right. I like my husband, I like my daughter, I like chocolate, I like Italian food, and I like being right. Like in that order. Okay? In that order. And I like being right. You can ask anybody. I love it, huh? Does, D-O-Z for dozens. It does not say dog. It says does. That's how I make my Z's. Okay, so now I'm going to start putting the stuff in the table, okay? Now, the X and Y are so I can write an equation. But what really matters is these labels. So it says 2 dozen corn muffins. So the muffins are Y. So I'm going to put the 2 dozen corn muffins there. And 3 cups of flour. And cups of flour go in this column, so I'm going to put a 3 there. How many cups of flour? Well, so I'm going to put my box here under how many cups of flour are needed to make 6 dozen muffins. Again, do you see how how important the labels are? Now remember, if I label this wrong, I'm going to put everything in the wrong place. If I'm not careful about where I put stuff, I'm going to get it wrong. Okay? But from this point forward, we solve it just like anything else. Okay? We make our Y over X column. And I put 2 over 3. Now, okay, I see how it is. So if I put 2 over 3 in my calculator, 2 divided by 3, I get 0.666666667. Is this a precise answer? No. And what are the 2 most important things? Being precise and being careful. So while this is a perfectly fine answer, it's not precise. So if I get a fraction like a decimal like this that keeps going forever, it's a repeating decimal. Even if it's got a pattern like a repeating or a non-terminating, I'm going to convert it into a fraction. How do I do that? Huh? I kind of do, but just in case, like sometimes, yes, I know we already have it, but let's say I had something else in there and I wasn't sure. So I want you to write this down wherever you want to. I want you to write this down. Okay, so let's write decimal into fraction. Okay? Decimal into fraction. And you're going to do math. Enter. Enter. And I know you're like, but I can see that it's 2/3. But you know what? Just let's pretend you can't. Let's pretend you can't. Let's pretend instead of 2/3, I give you, I'll do another one in a minute. Okay, so math, enter, enter. We have that written down. Okay. All right. Math, enter, enter. Math, enter, enter. So I'm going to hit the math button, which is right here under alpha, and then I'm going to hit enter twice, and it's going to turn it into a fraction for me. Now, what if I had this instead? So what if I had that? I don't know what that is. But if I math, enter, enter, it tells me what it is. Okay? So if I get a fraction that I'm not sure what it is, this is going to help me. Okay? So I know that K is 2/3. And I know that Y equals 2/3 X. Well, do I know, which one of those do I know, Y or X? I know Y, so I'm going to say 6 equals 2/3 X. Do we know how to solve that? If we don't, guess what we have? This. Go to Y equals. Put 6 on the left. Now, in Y1, now on Y2, I can just do 2 divide 3 X to write that as a fraction, like 2/3. Or you could do alpha Y equals, which is also in the book. Okay? I hit second table, and I'm looking for the row where they're the same, where they're both 6. Oh, there it is, 9. So, X equals 9. Okay, now, word problem, word answer. 9 what? Of? So word problem, word answer. Okay?